Welcome race fans to Pit Stop TV. As usual, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. No Twitch tonight. On Twitch you'll be seeing a different race in just a little while, the LTAC Racing League at Talladega. But right now, we've got the Maconi Setup Shop Summer Tour. I'll have Trey Patton with me in the booth. I'm Andrew Cardinale IV, and this is our live coverage of the Maconi Setup Shop Summer Tour at Lanier Raceplex. It's round number 2 as we visit you from Brazelton, Georgia, for this summer stretch of racing. It was a lot of fun last week at South Boston. Can't wait for tonight to get going. Across the street from one of America's greatest road courses sits one of America's more forgotten short tracks. Clocking in at 3/8 of a mile, Lanier Raceplex lends itself to big moves and thrilling action, yet still fell off the map as time went on. Thankfully, iRacing has immortalized this bowl of pavement now used for drifting and karting events. This evening, however, the Maconi Setup Shop Summer Tour rolls into round number 2 at this high bank short track known as Lanier. Parker Retzlaff and Jeffrey Maconi made themselves favorites last week, and tonight we get to see just who can rise to the top, rise to the occasion, and try and get their wins as we have twin 30-lap features. It is worth noting, Parker Retzlaff already off and away to a P1 here in practice. Now, as we get ready to go into qualifying here shortly, Jeffrey Maconi, series sponsor, did put up a bounty on himself, actually, with his performance. If anybody can best what he did last week, so that means qualifying on pole, winning the first race, and winning the second race, they get, dang, I forget exactly what it was. I forget the reward. I'm really bad at these things sometimes. But regardless, they get a prize from, it was free setups for a season, I believe. So basically, Jeffrey Maconi will take care of anybody who can do better than he did last week. So we'll have to see how, well, actually, we'll check in on Maconi himself. I believe I saw him a little further down the listings tonight. No, I don't think he's actually in attendance. I know there was a race on his list that he unfortunately was going to have to miss. I think this may be it here at Lanier. But some other drivers that are looking like they might try and go claim that bounty. David Polens is one of those guys in the number 33. He's looking pretty stout. He's second place in practice right now. You've got the whole practice standings, if you will, the timesheet on the left side of your screen, so you can check that out. Of course, you see Retzlaff clocking in first. Polens in second. We're looking at his number 33 right now. Matthew Hughes sits second place, and he's not looking too shabby himself. The very purple in blue number 7, off and away to, Parker's at a 14.8, 14.815 rather. Polens is at a 14.843, and Hughes clocks in at a 14.898. There are only a few more drivers in the 14s, and they're all 14.9s. Cody Moorcroft in the number 80. Tyler Payne actually in the number 18. He's not looking too bad right there. Sean Jr. Wilson, we saw him get up into a lot of the action last week. He currently sits at a 14.995. Then just on the 14 side of the 15s, the number 3 of Charles Geddings clocks in at a 14.999. So 7 cars to the 14 side of the 15s. Eric Jones, the first driver in the 15s, at a 15.004. As we get things opened up, we do have a new sponsor here of the Maconi Setup Shop Summer Tour to talk about just a little bit. Power Crunch Pro, Power Crunch protein energy bars have come on to support the Maconi Setup Shop Summer Tour, and they are the race tonight is presented by this iconic cream-filled wafer bar. You can go to, let me double check before I say this. I believe it's powercrunch.com. I'm going to double check that. Yeah, just powercrunch.com, quite simply, to check out more about them. And look forward to talking more about them throughout the evening. We do have some Power Crunch logos on the race machines throughout the field, just like you saw some Pit Stop TV logos last week, some Maconi Setup Shop logos last week. So looking forward to these guys sporting those who support us. And in fact, I'm going to see if we can get a tighter shot here of the number 911. I see the Summer Tour logo. We'll see if, as he comes around turn 4, he's got he does not, but you know who might. I dare say Tyler Payne probably will. Yep, you see the Power Crunch logo there between, well, kind of the middle but top of the rear of his car. I'll see if I can punch in a little bit on that shot. And I can. So you can see the Power Crunch logo there on the number 18. Always want to support those who support us. So definitely go check them out at powercrunch.com. I'm sure you can just search Power Crunch on social media as well. Power Crunch protein bars to find out more about them. And finally, Trey Patton, you were joining me tonight in the booth. And you weren't there for a few minutes, but we're so glad that you did make it. As well, we have a new fastest lap.
Yeah, Travis Hofler up to the top of the board with a 15.050. As Matthew Hughes goes up to second with an 0.69. No one's into the 14s yet. Parker Retzlaff, whenever he goes out, I expect him to qualify around a 14.8. You know, he set a pretty fast practice time, as you were reiterating. I heard in the broadcast that a little bit of the field were in the 14.8s as Cody Moorcroft goes up to the top of the board with a 15.028. So we're getting closer and closer to the 14 mark, but no one has seemed to hit it yet. So I wouldn't be too surprised if anyone does get into it.
Moorcroft is knocking on the door there, though, a 15.013. I mean, he is close. And we still have some drivers yet to qualify, those being Hunter Sanders, David Polins, who was in the 14s, Parker Retzlaff, Tyler Payne, who was in the 14s, and Steve Mullins as well. So 3 drivers there that were in the 14s yet to qualify. I see one getting on the racetrack that we want to watch out for. It is Tyler Payne, finally hitting the high banks here of Lanier. We'll go on board with him for his qualifying run.
It looked like he is sliding all over the place as he... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Hunter Sanders. I apologize for that. Hunter Sanders was on track and got loose. As we look at Payne going into turn 3 here, you see here he arcs the corner down. He's currently 3rd on the board with the 0.46. He's going to his second lap. Actually, that was his second lap. That was his second lap. I apologize. So, as we see in practice, he hit a 14.956 in practice, and qualifies for the 0.46, which currently puts him 3rd. We have 3 people that are yet to qualify, as we're now looking at Parker Retzlaff going out for his run.
Hey, we have a 14! David Polins.
915. Parker with an 802. Not surprised. There it is.
So Parker Retzlaff immediately up to pole. You saw Polins go into the 14s, the first driver to break into the 14s here in qualifying, and Retzlaff quickly bests him. So the 14.915 from Polins, very good lap time, but just not quite good enough for pole once Retzlaff went out there and laid it all down. A 14.802 from Retzlaff, and that's clear of Polins by over a 10th, clear of Moorcroft by another 10th. And then you've got almost, 2 1/3 tenths back to 4th place. So the top 3, all really quick, but they're all separated by a 10th. Retzlaff, Polins, and Moorcroft. So definitely some fast Legends drivers out here tonight. Can't wait to see these guys try and stick it to Parker Retzlaff. Of course, the interesting thing is, with the invert between these 2 races, Trey, Retzlaff may go out there and just spank the field in race 1, but he's still got a race for something in race 2.
Yeah, I feel like, just me with personal experience, but knowing Parker can wheel about anything he can drive. So he may go out, like you said, just spank the field in the first one, and then, obviously with the invert, he'll have to drive his way up through the field. But, for Parker, I don't really see that being an issue. And honestly, for someone of his caliber of driving, it's actually more fun, because sometimes, just being up front and leading a race can be pretty boring.
Absolutely. Before we get into the grid, I want to quickly look at our point standings. Retzlaff, of course, does come in your points leader, but Jeffrey Maconi, who won the second of 2 races last week at South Boston, comes in right with him. Now, obviously, and my mistake, I forgot we're inverting for this this first race as well. So Parker Retzlaff actually has to come up from 6th place. So my mistake there. I'd forgotten about that. He's going to be starting off in 6th, but we'll get to that in a second anyways. Retzlaff does come in your points leader by 20 points over Maconi, who is not here. The next closest is Matthew Hughes, who we'll talk about in a moment. He will inherit the pole position here in this race. And starting to his outside will actually be Tyler Payne, who's 4th. So you can see definitely where the skill lies, at least towards the top of the, I guess, the extra bits of skill. There we go. Clearly, the cream rises to the top here in the Maconi setup shop summer tour. So you see the point standings there all the way down through Jerry LeGrand, the third in 10th place. But, well, we have some point standings to go over. We'll get there in just a moment as soon as I get a bearing on things. You know, it's been a really wild week. We were supposed to cover the IORL at Laguna Seca, and unfortunately that just didn't quite go its way. But Trey, I'm so happy that we're here at South Boston. There we go. We've got a grid to roll down. So Matthew Hughes inherits the pole position, qualifying 6th place. Tyler Payne in 2nd. Travis Hoefler in 3rd place. Cody Moorcroft in 4th. The rest of your top 10, it's going to be David Polans, Parker Retzlaff. They were your fastest 2 qualifiers. Then Eric Jones, Jacob Fears, Dustin Taylor, Joseph Ralph. A little ways back in the field, we have Charles Geddings, Sean Wilson, Hunter Sanders, J.D. McGee, Matthew Kopp, Jeffrey Wallace, and trying to fill out to the top 20 here will be Harold Ralph, Luke Brown, Rogelio Ramirez, and Jerry LeGrand. But we're coming to the green flag here, and I'll turn it over to you, Trey.
As the pace car takes the hard left in, and we are green here at Lanier Raceplex. As they go into turn 1, you're going to see them go to arc it and try to get as close to that apron as you can. As we are side by side for the lead, Tyler Payne gets right up against that wall, tried to get the run off the corner, didn't quite get it done. As we see it, as we have a caution out, the 23 car is around, and looks like they're still wrecking. There's 3, 4, 5 cars involved in that one.
It's a big one out of turn 4, and this is really going to claim a lot of good cars from the looks of things. We'll see who ends up involved in this one. This is going into turn 3, and wow, Sanders just goes around all on his own. Usually you see lap 1 incidents usually come from a bump or a weird move trying to capitalize on the start of the race, but no, this is Sanders just going around all on his own.
Did he clip the apron there? Because
yeah, I think he stabs the brakes and then catches the apron as it goes around. Another driver who goes around to cause a lot of this mess down the front stretch is going to be Jacob Fears. We'll see what happens to him. He rolled off 8th place. And watch this gray and green, number 911 through 3 and 4. You see the 09 give a punt to the 35. But actually, contact there with the 3 car of Geddings is what sends him around.
Yeah, just it doesn't take much to upset these legend cars. Just as you saw there, just even like the slightest tap to that little bar on the back or even on the side. These are more of like your, as you can see with these cars, even tire contact is the thing because they are more of like an open wheel type of oval car. So, I mean, even a little tire contact can do that. And then as you saw there, touching the apron is definitely a no-go, just depending on how your setup is, as they've actually delayed the green flag here to get scoring fixed. But as I was saying earlier, you want to get as close as you can for the fastest line on the bottom. So if you can get your 2 tires on the apron, you're lucky, but you want to get as close. Because if you're getting in the gas or you're on the brake and you touch that apron, that car, as you see, is going to just loop right around.
It's definitely a fine line that you tread here in these Legends car, and especially with the apron at Lanier in just about anything. It's either a lot of speed or a lot of wrecking that you'll get from running down there. While we have this extended yellow, I do want to thank a couple of Pit Stop TV partners, and we're going to lead off, of course, with Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy. Here at Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine, the owner, Ashley Bollier, is a certified micropigmentation specialist who provides professional, safe, and personalized services. If you're looking for the best solutions for your PMU concerns, give us a call today to book a consultation. You can contact them at permanentmakeupinmaine.com or call or text them at 207-358-8683. Again, that is 207-358-8683. And we have a green flag to cover.
As they lead off into turn 1, you see that Matthew Hughes is still leading that. We have a slow car on the bottom that looked like I'm not quite sure who that was there, as Matthew Hughes is still leading this train across the line into turn 3. Almost 3 wide coming out of turn 4.
Oh, he wrecks!
That's what we're wrecking!
Oh my, we were watching, I said he wrecks, referring to Matthew Hughes. He set the fastest lap and then promptly spun in front of the entire field.
Yeah, I'm not really quite sure what was happening there, because I was about to mention that he had the fastest lap, and then next thing you know, it just the blink of an eye, he was wrecking. So we'll most definitely get the replay here as we are looking at that now. I mean, as you can see, he's got about a 2-car length gap going into turn 3, and then they get the run. He has a good exit off the corner.
He was
Looks like he got a
loose the
little
entire
bit
time.
sideways right there and just looped it around, and contact was made, and that is not what you want to see, especially coming from the lead.
Yeah, that wads up a few of them. We'll get the slow-mo on this here in just a moment. This is definitely not at all what we were hoping for towards the start of this one. And Hughes just gets sideways. He tries to catch it, gets loose again, gets collected. That's the 20 that hits him. The number 20, let me double check on that, was Hofler. I saw the 33 of Poland's get involved and then quickly disconnect from the session, it looks like. The 80 of Moorcroft, Retzlaff gets a piece, Geddings gets a piece. And yeah, actually, wow, the 2 definitely goes for a bit of a spin in all of this. So and he gets nailed! Who was the 61? Because the 61 just came in there, and I mean, at that point, you've got to be checking up.
Yeah, that is Donald Fisher in the 61. So we're going to go on board here and see what he was seeing out of his cockpit view.
I wonder if there was a car blocking what he saw of Retzlaff and the rest of the wreck, but we'll listen. We can hear the audio, obviously. He still, well, it kind of just happened in front of him, but man, if I was Donald, I would have been checking up a while back.
Yeah, especially once you see smoke, especially on a short track like Lanier or even South Boston, just even like in a legend car in general on a short track, you see smoke, you immediately check up because you don't know where it's going to go. You don't know what lane's going to be open. Just very unfortunate for Parker to be caught up in that, just to get nailed. Just a lot of the guys in that were just innocent bystanders.
We're waiting the green flag to be flown. Looks like we'll get another lap here. So while this all goes on, we waste another lap here. Well, I shouldn't say waste. Don't get the wrong idea. While we use up another caution lap to sort the field out, there we go. While we use another lap up, we could talk about Whiplash Media. Pit Stop TV's new parent organization, Whiplash Media, specializes in various sim racing resources, including paint schemes, stream overlays, iRacing camera packs, and more. Whiplash Media is also working on its presence in real racing with things such as photography, social media management, and public relations. Go to whiplashmedia.com for more information. Now, as we get ready to go back green flag here, Trey, it's just worth mentioning, I want to give a quick shout out to our social guy tonight, Trey Shuttlesworth. We had Noah Carmichael last week. He's going to be taking over the LTAC social media here in a little while. So you can even watch this race and keep up with the LTAC start of their race, at least, on our social media. You can go to @pitstoptv_ on Twitter, or you can just look up Pitstop TV. You're probably already watching here if you're on Facebook, of course. So you can follow our Facebook and keep up with what goes on there in the LTAC Racing League. They're at Talladega tonight, so it's a good race to keep up with. Meanwhile, you can watch LTAC and keep up with us. So either way works. These guys are still trying to sorting out. You see some of these drivers jockeying for position under caution. Not a normal sight, but it's certainly one that happens sometimes. You're not counting caution laps. You have a couple of cautions real quick. These are just the kinks that get worked out in a new series like the Maconi Setup Shop Summer Tour. So as things get going, I imagine it'll get a whole lot better.
Yeah, it's just trying to get into the groove of things. It's always short track racing can always produce some good stuff. As the green flag is out, Tyler Payne crosses the line in turn 1, has a good, decent lead here. As we go down the back straightaway, things seem to be sorted out for now, and we will see how things sort out for the rest of this heat race.
Well, it was a side-by-side battle for third place, but Eric Jones clears Dustin Taylor. Meanwhile, Geddings gets clear of Junior Wilson. So these guys sorting their positions out through the mid-pack of the top 10, but you have some other guys going at it. Retzlaff, he doesn't have a front end on that Legend anymore, but he's still running 8th place, so he's still in a decent position. Now, the battle is brought to Moorcroft for second place. Eric Jones, who we didn't really see in the battle too much last week, ends up going for second place here in the first of 2 feature races. So already in this 30-lap race, he's up and into second place. He's looking pretty good.
Yeah, they were fighting side by side there for about 2 laps, and he ended up getting the getting cleared there. He's actually making a run for the lead now. He's slowly getting up there. As we actually approach some lap traffic there, as you see on the bottom, as we're on board with Eric Jones as he's going to approach this lap car and gets by him very smoothly as he's making a run on Tyler Payne.
And that was Donald Fisher that he went by, and you saw multiple times that black and purple notification came up at the top of the screen for the fastest lap from Tyler Payne. He just keeps going faster. He's kind of leveled off now. There it is again, a 15.010. He keeps getting closer and closer to a 14 in race conditions, so this guy is really cooking off some good lap times. A slow car up top, that's a 9.11 of Jacob Fears.
Yeah, we have a car stopped up top and car stopped on the apron. Not quite sure what happened there, but we did have 2 cars stopped on the track. That is why the caution flag is out. I'm sure we can get a replay here. Not quite sure what happened there.
We'll try and figure it out, though. You see Jacob Fears, he was looking for a track exit. Unfortunately, that doesn't work in iRacing. That's not a track exit. You just hit that little invisible barrier that you saw him kind of climb up onto. I'm not sure where the other car was that you were seeing stopped. And I'm really curious as to what happened here for... Oh, I do. Oh, that was Fisher on the bottom of the racetrack. That was Donald Fisher just sitting down there, and we'll see what may have caused that for the drop. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I wonder if he was just trying to pull down off the track, or maybe he got hit down there.
So this is the replay, and...
Oh.
I think he was trying to turn down into the pit lane and just completely missed it. Oh, and that's what brings out the yellow. So he reverses trying to get to pit entry, and that's where it triggers right there. Was him backing up onto, well, not quite the racetrack like that, but backing up towards the racetrack. That's absolutely what does it there. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, now we've completed, in fact, it is 25 laps. So we were informed it was 30, and I called 30. I apologize there. I should have looked at my timing and scoring. It is 25 laps for each of these races. So we are through 10. Well, technically 9. We are on lap 10 under this caution. So we're getting closer to where we need to be. I think that caution really isn't representative of how these guys were racing, because they were racing closely, but they were getting some green flag laps in, and I'm really proud of that whole field. They all got some really good racing and laps in. I mean, Payne was off and away and just clicking off those lap times, but the whole field was looking pretty good.
Yeah, if I'm Eric Jones, I'm kind of glad that caution came out, because now it stacks everything back up. As we see, we are going back green as Tyler Payne gets an excellent restart, got a great jump. As we are 2x2, as you can see here, with the 3 car of GEDDINGS. As almost 3 wide going to the corner. As we got a car around the 99 spinning, his caution is out.
The 99 is piloted by one Jeffrey Wallace, and he goes around here in turns 3 and 4. It looked like he had some help, but I don't want to say too much just yet. We'll wait and see what happens here. Absolutely has help from that is the 0. I'm wondering, I'm assuming that is DeLong. Yes, so Michael DeLong gets into him, and we'll go to the onboard here of the number 0 and see exactly what happens.
Let's see, so we're on the 00. Looks
he
like
just pushes.
Yeah, just pushed up the track, maybe got a little tight, and doesn't take much. Doesn't take much at all for these things to push and get tied up the track, as we're getting another look at it here.
And it's unfortunate that the 99 was the one to go around here, because the 99 of Wallace is actually the one sporting, and I believe he's the reason that we have Power Crunch on board. You can see the Power Crunch get crunched as he's going to go for a bit of a spin. Very unfortunate to see to see the number 99 go around. There we go, man. Sometimes you just forget how to speak English. That is just how it goes. But meanwhile,
who's that came in and plowed him right there?
The 35 later on, that would be one Joseph Ralph, and he's back onto the racetrack, it looks like. In fact, we have Poland's as well on the racetrack, So we're glad he's rejoined us. I know he quickly escaped after that incident a little while earlier on, but we should be coming to the green flag here in a couple of laps. Tyler Payne, your race leader. Eric Jones in second place. The 21, Dustin Taylor in third. He's been looking pretty good as well. This whole top three, and I think even you can include Moorcroft and Geddings, they've been looking pretty stout. I really, really wonder how this race would have been different, though, had Retzlaff not been involved in that, because I'd imagine that number 2 is pretty well worse for the wear right now. He doesn't have a front end on that car at all.
Yeah, definitely. The front end being gone definitely affects the handling of the race cars. We are back green here. It looks like Tyler Payne just gets an excellent jump on the restart once again and pulls away to about a car length and a half, almost 2 car lengths as we go into turn 3 as we go to take 13 laps to go.
So the battle right now for the race lead, Payne and Jones. And Eric Jones has, over time, been studying what the 18 is doing. And I think that's why we're seeing him hang with it. Meanwhile, a battle for 4th place is Geddings and Moorcroft. Moorcroft can be on the losing side right now. Retzlaff down to the bottom. He's hooking that dotted yellow line, and he's trying to get what would be now 5th position over Moorcroft, and he's going to nose ahead for a moment. Slides up the racetrack for a second, has to jump on the brakes. Now across the start-finish line, he gets across, well, I mean, yeah, there we go. Finally clears Moorcroft for that position. Sean Jr. Wilson going to continue the freight train on Moorcroft. Moorcroft just losing more and more spots.
Yeah, these drivers are wheeling these cars, giving them everything they've got. You know, Parker especially having to wheel that thing, you know, not having a front end. It makes you have to wheel that car a lot more, as looks like Tyler Payne has pulled almost about half a second on Eric Jones there, almost 0.6 of a second now, as you see on the ticker on the side. He's got about a little over a second on the 3rd place machine of Dustin Taylor, as he's just pulling away as we come 8 laps to go.
So, clicking some laps away here, and this is some good racing throughout the field. Retzlaff going to try and cross up Wilson. They actually have traded a couple of blows because Wilson was behind Retzlaff. That has since changed. Retzlaff trying to put the attack on the 09, and the 09 hanging on. Now, I think there's definitely some performance damage to that number 2, because he should be keeping up with Wilson down the straights, and he's not. Even with the 09 exiting off the top side of the racetrack compared to the number 2, they should be a lot more even than they are. Meanwhile, Luke Brown has entered the fray, the number 5 getting into this battle. You see the 15 there as well, Harold Ralph in this battle. So Moorcroft has lost a lot of spots. He's down to 9th place and almost out of the top 10.
Yeah, this...
Whoa! Pollins goes around, and that's going to be a yellow. He parks it in victory lane, but not the lap you want to do it on. You got 5 more laps to go, buddy. As David Pollins, unfortunately, around down the front stretch. We saw that happen kind of out of the corner of our eyes. We'll watch it again. He's battling here with Hunter Sanders, and just a little bit of contact. Yup, right there, and it sends Pollins around.
Yeah, I was about to call that we had a battle going on pretty close there, and then right when I was about to call it is right when the contact happened, and, you know, as you said, we saw it right out of the corner of our eye there, and parked it in victory lane there. Not quite the right lap for it, but I appreciate the effort.
That is a good-looking 33, though. I really like that. You know, over at Whiplash Racing, we have some pretty similar paint schemes, except we have the metallic on what would be the pinstripe, the orange there, and we have matte down the sides where he has that silver, but that looks really, really good. I really, really like that number 33. That is a really good-looking race car. Let's see if we can get a better look at it here and just talk about that. I know Pollins is replicating his real-life Legends car, too, so that's pretty cool as well. So a nod to Pollins for that. That's a really good-looking paint scheme. Meanwhile, as we get ready to go back racing here shortly, Tyler Payne is your race leader, Eric Jones second place. So things have not changed in the top 3, but Charles Geddings is now through to 4th rather. Sean Jr. Wilson into 5th. Retzlaff got up into 6th, and you see that is Luke Brown in 7th, and that's right, Harold Ralph into 8th. So I was trying to find names and numbers here. We're still getting used to who everybody is, and Harold Ralph actually looking to put together a pretty good run.
Yeah, fairly decent run. This is obviously the first of two races, or first of two races tonight, and obviously this is getting us warmed up for what we can expect to see in the second one. I do expect to see a lot harder racing in the second one now that everyone would know what to expect with some track time, as we are single file restart as Tyler Payne pulls away from Eric Jones once again on the restart and pulls about 2.5 car lengths. As we've been saying, he's just clicking laps away as we come to 3 to go at the line.
3 laps to go for these drivers, and man, the battle was on for third for a moment. There we go. Geddings getting a bit of a run at Taylor. He's trying to get that third position, but Sean Jr. Wilson also in this could play into things if they get side by side and slow themselves down. 2 laps to go now as they're battling for third place. Nothing much to speak of up front, as Retzlaff is going to get into this as well. Luke Brown might join in on the party, coming to the last couple of corners before the white flag lap. Charles Geddings around the bottom side. He's going to get that position now over Dustin Taylor. That's good for third, and that's going to be some pay money as well. Sean Jr. Wilson hangs on to fourth for now over the 21. Oh, and they're going to wreck a little bit, but actually a bit of a move for the race win does not work out for the 51 of Eric Jones. Tyler Payne still gets the win.
Yeah, that was very, very close. I thought he almost pulled it out.
Impressive stuff here from Tyler Payne. A very dominating win. And I'm sure he's going to burn things down. Actually, we're going to go straight into warm-up, it looks like. But I want to get a replay of what happens here with these two. Because all of a sudden, the 51 of Jones was all over Payne into turns 3 and 4. And this is the replay of what happens down the backstretch. Jones just kind of dives in on the bottom, and Payne opens the door as if he thought he was going to send it a little bit harder. I think Jones could have, and he might have been able to get there without even using the bumper.
Yeah, he had a really good run. Just I'm not quite sure that he didn't get it done, as we see a little connection issue, or I don't know if that was just something on our end. It looks like, I think if he wouldn't have been as far down on the apron, he might have been able to get it, but that might have just been his only shot. I think he might have actually tagged the wall. There's, we're looking on the onboard camera of Eric Jones trailing behind. As you can see, he just sends it.
Yeah, the apron didn't help him at all, because that's what slowed him up.
He tried, but I feel like if he could have tried to send it down a different way without getting the full car down on the apron, he might have been able to, but he might not have been able to get the car to stick with just 2 tires. Needless to say, that was a pretty decent battle. Sorry, go ahead.
Meanwhile, we had some racing a little further back, and wow, Retzlaff barely hangs on to this one. So these guys were battling for a few laps. We were covering Geddings getting by the 21 of Taylor, and Sean Jr. Wilson entering his name into the battle. Retzlaff was looking to get by the 21 of Taylor as well. He pops the fence. I thought they were going to wreck, and then even Luke Brown pushes the 21 up the racetrack a bit, and then they drag race to the line. Taylor hangs onto it, but not before letting Parker Retzlaff get on by for what was 5th place there in race number 1. So we're going to step away for just a moment. We will be right back here at Lanier. Don't go anywhere. This is Pit Stop TV's live coverage of the Maconi Setup Shop Summer Tour at Lanier Raceplex. Welcome back, race fans, to Pit Stop TV and our live coverage. Well, our coverage that we had of the Maconi Setup Shop Summer Tour. Some issues with race control are going to delay the second race, and unfortunately, it's going to go past our window here on Pit Stop TV. So we will see these guys once more at Southern National next week. So for right now, unfortunately, we are done here from Lanier. It's kind of outside of our realm of dealing with. Unfortunately, it just kind of happens sometimes. It's the way it goes. A couple of growing pains, getting things going, but these guys are going to have, I know, a really good race next Friday at Southern National. A really good couple of races, actually, because, of course, these guys do double features. So I cannot wait to see how these guys fare next week at Southern National. Going to be a lot of fun. Southern National, always a place that really lends itself to some interesting racing. Unfortunately, we don't have the full results from tonight because we've already moved into a different portion of the iRacing session. So unfortunately, we can't get that up for you. But what I can do is tell you about a couple of supporters here of Pit Stop TV and the Maconi Setup Shop Summer Tour. Firstly, Power Crunch Pro Protein Energy Bar for presenting tonight's racing. The second round of the Maconi Setup Shop Summer Tour is, of course, fueled by Power Crunch Pro, the iconic cream-filled wafer protein energy bar with 20 grams of protein. This is protein reimagined. I promise I didn't mean to say protein. I don't know what that is, but certainly not protein regardless. Thank you to Power Crunch for supporting this week. Hopefully we get you on for more races, maybe even more broadcasts in general. Definitely a great partner. I know they put up some extra money, some extra payouts to these drivers as well. So, I mean, I will say Tyler Payne and everybody here at the Maconi Setup Shop Summer Tour are doing a great job of getting many different people involved and really making this stuff look pretty good. Unfortunately, the iRacing side of things, giving these guys a couple of little gremlins, but we'll get these things worked out. We will move on to Southern National and USA and then Charlotte to wrap things up. So 6 races remain that we will cover here on Pit Stop TV, and I cannot wait. We also want to talk about, though, permanent makeup in Maine, and when it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy. Here at, Here at Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine, there we go, the owner, Ashley Bollier, is a certified micropigmentation specialist who provides professional, safe, and personalized services. If you're looking for the best solutions for your PMU concerns, give us a call today to book a consultation. You can contact Permanent Makeup in Maine at permanentmakeupinmaine.com or call or text them at 207-358-8683. That's right, a company you can text. 207-358-8683. And if you visit their Facebook page, Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine, you will see that they do monthly giveaways. So you just might get some free stuff. Everybody likes free stuff. At the very least, go support those who support us. Support Ashley Bollier, Evan Bollier, and everybody else over at Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine. They really deserve it. We also want to talk about Whiplash Media, Pit Stop TV's new parent organization that specializes in various sim racing resources, including paint schemes, stream overlays, iRacing camera packs, and more. Whiplash Media is also working on its presence in real racing with things such as photography, social media management, and public relations. Go to whiplash-media.com. For everybody here from Pit Stop TV, we got to thank those guys for backing us up, supporting us, and making sure we can, run these broadcasts, making sure we can do these fun things, because this stuff is a whole lot of fun for us to do. We really enjoy coming on, especially with these new leagues like the Maconi Setup Shop Summer Tour and covering some great racing. So definitely want to thank everybody for supporting us. But that'll conclude our coverage tonight of the Maconi Setup Shop Summer Tour at Lanier Raceplex. We at Pit Stop TV thank you for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Join us again Wednesday as the IRL IndyCars Series heads west for Laguna Seca in the penultimate race of the season. Also, make sure to follow us at www.facebook.com/pitstoptv, on Twitter at pitstoptv_, on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/pit_stop_TV, and on YouTube by searching Pit Stop TV. For Pit Stop TV, this has been Trey Patton. With me in the booth tonight, Trey Shuttlesworth on social media, and I'm Andrew Cardinale IV. and we will see you next time. Have a great night.